Oh, hi, Mark. I don't like that camera angle. Is that better? Is that better? I'm not even going to restart the video. Fuck you guys. Nerds? Dweebs? I hope you stub your toe tonight. I hope you step on a Lego. I hope your soup, I hope you heat up some Progresso chunky clam chowder and then you go to take a bite and it's like lukewarm, but like the potatoes are cold. You know what I mean? And then the little chunky bits of clam. I'm going to stop because I just made 90% of you gag. Okay. So, originally I was going to review The Mortuary Assistant because that's what's relevant at the moment, and I was like, you might as well, you might as well review that movie. But I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I watched the movie like last Saturday. I have no intention on rewatching it so soon. I probably will rewatch it. By the way, just quick thoughts about that movie. I think it's like a 6 out of 10. I think it's fine. I think it's like, hey, little overblown, guys, just a little bit. But then I decided, you know what, you could review instead a movie that you actually know, that you actually just watched like day before yesterday, or was that yesterday? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. Okay, listen, Day of the Dead. This movie slaps. All right, it slaps harder than your dad at the dinner table. Because I assume you grew up in a house of dysfunction, because why else do you think it's okay to act like that? I'm looking at you, Sarah. Now, Day of the Dead. I think we all know Day of the Dead, but I'll do a little spiel anyway. A group of government researchers and military personnel are trapped in a military base somewhere in what is presumably Florida. I don't know that it says, but there are gators and palm trees, and I assume it's Florida. And essentially, one of them is working on a cure for the zombie virus, a cure for people being bitten, and the other, well, not for people being bitten, but once they've been bitten, stopping a way, or finding a way to stop the infection, stopping them from dying and then turning. And then the other is looking for a way to domesticate the zombies that already exist, because he believes her, Cerberus, come on, good boy, because he believes that her idea is potentially a bit far-fetched. And that's essentially the whole plot of the movie, and I promise it's so much more interesting than I just made it sound. And really the interesting half comes from his half, the domestication of zombies. I think that is such a cool idea, and the way this movie does it is great. First of all, let me just get it out of the way. These characters are like some of my favorite characters in any zombie movie. Funnily enough, not our main characters, not the woman whose name escapes me, and not her boyfriend whose name escapes me. However, Dr. Frankenstein, which is what they call this doctor, I don't remember his name. He does have a real name in the film, but they call him Dr. Frankenstein. He is a very fun character. He's very zany. He's very much so a mad scientist stereotype, and I love it. I love him. And the bad guys in this movie, the human bad guys, which is something that this movie does really great, where other zombie movies will take, and even Romero in his own zombie movies, they will take people from an outside group and turn them into the antagonists, where they're attacking the people on the inside group. This movie, more so than that, and actually it completely overwrites that, completely just takes that out of the equation, and it shows the infighting of this group, and you very much so get a group of antagonists and a group of protagonists. And oh my God, how could I not even mention the Jamaican guy and the Irish guy? Once again, I don't remember their names. I really don't. The only people whose names I actually remember in this film are the bad guys. And I'm telling you right now, These are like my favorite zombie movie bad guys. Rhodes is such a hateable douchebag. I love him. Okay? Like, Steel is like a perfect, the other guy's not important, but Steel is such like a perfect little goblin crony for Rhodes, and it is a dynamic that works so well. The us against them, and there's just tension building within this base where he's demanding more from them than they can realistically get. And yeah, I love that whole dynamic. I love the guy's performance. For a second, I thought that was Michael Shannon. He looks so similar to Michael Shannon. He even sounds like Michael Shannon. I can't believe I've never noticed it before. Like, he looks like Michael Shannon years ago. Well, years ago. I don't know what Michael Shannon looked like in 1985. I got to be honest. I don't even know how old Michael Shannon is. But if I were to paint a mental picture in my head, that's probably pretty close. It's probably pretty close. Rhodes, I mean, and anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, his performance is so incredible. All the characters they're fun to be around, and even though like Rhodes is a dick, it's still fun to watch him be a dick. You love to hate him, and Dr. Frankenstein is super fun to watch. Of course, the character that I haven't even covered yet, Bub, is a lot of fun to watch. First of all, let me just say, Bub is a little man. He's just a little guy, a little fella, if you will. And I don't know, man. You give me like any character with less brain cells than all the other characters, who's just like they kind of treat him almost as a pet. I'm going to find that character endearing. I don't care if he is a festering sack of flesh-eating ooze. It doesn't matter to me. He's just a little fella. And he is, in fact. I love everything with Bub. But, I mean, outside of the characters, one last thing, though. The Jamaican guy and the Irish guy. Dude, I want to hang out with those guys. That's the zombie apocalypse solution I'm looking for. I love the scene, too, where Steele's like, you got to lay off the booze, man. And he's like, well, Steele, if we don't find a way out of here, I'll have to fucking lay off the fucking booze because there won't be any of it fucking left. I love that. Those dudes have the right idea about the zombie apocalypse. Dude, the world is boned. Let's just sit in this little bunker that we've made look like a little home and get schnockered off scotch and rum. And that's what they spend the movie doing. It's awesome. So in saying that, there is a really cozy vibe to parts of this movie outside of the tension of the military base. It's almost like they have their own little escape, and I appreciate the scenes with them in that escape. On top of that, this might be Romero's best shot zombie movie. I can't speak to Romero's whole filmography. I've seen primarily his zombie movies. I did see The Crazies, which isn't exactly a zombie movie, the one from 1973, I think. And that movie's not great, but we're not here to talk about that movie. That being said, Day of the Dead is a gorgeous looking movie. The way it's shot, I love all the shots of like the Florida sun and like the midday. Just like it has such a vibe to it. It's almost like it almost gives the vibe of like a Vietnam War film, to be entirely honest, which is very strange, and it almost feels intentional. That it feels like the Vietnam War without all the napalm. And then of course you have there are two other shots in the film that just stand out to me, even though there are plenty of them in the movie that look very nice. The one where it's like a camera pointed up a cylinder where they're climbing up the ladder, I thought that looked very cool. But the one to end all shots, and of course I think that's going to be like the most famous shot of the movie, I guess, outside of the obvious character moments that would take uh, that would take that place. Um, is the shot towards the beginning where the main female character is having a nightmare, and she just kind of leans up against the big white cement wall, and all those arms pop out of the wall. That is great. It is nightmare fuel. It is like, that is genuinely something you would expect to see in a nightmare, and something that, like, it feels nightmarish. It's not just that you would expect to see it in a nightmare. It is that, like, that is a horrific image. Just the very quick, all the hands just burst through the wall and they're coming to get her. It's great. Now, though I am sure, because this is a George Romero movie, I'm sorry, by the way, my dog's been in the shot the entire time. I assumed you guys didn't mind, because she's just a little fella. Hi. Oh, you baby. Yeah. Little baby. But anyhow. God, what was I gonna say? I was on a roll and then I got distracted. Quinny. Fuck. Where was I going with that? I'm thinking really hard. God damn it. I was on such a fucking roll. Okay, well, we'll kind of jump around then. Oh, right. I just remembered where I was. Okay, so although I am absolutely sure that this movie does contain social commentary, I'm not sure what of. I can sniff it out in some movies. I don't really understand what it is in Day of the Dead. Is it something about the military industrial complex? Is it something about just militarism in general? Is it something about the government? I don't really know. I couldn't really tell you. That's just, that's worth mentioning. If someone knows, go ahead and put it in the comments, because I couldn't tell you. Like, I know Dawn of the Dead is a commentary on consumerism, a great one, even though it's like, it kind of beats you over the head with it, but it's really effective in doing it, you know? So I don't know what it is in this movie. I'm sure it's there. I'm sure somebody can tell me. I don't watch this movie for that. And then, of course, the gore in this movie. I think this is some of the best gore ever put into a zombie film. My God, the like, zombie who is nothing but like a spinal cord and a brain, that looks awesome. And then you see, like, the back of his head too, just like the brain is just like resting vaguely on the back of a head. The zombie who gets up and then his guts just fall out of his rib cage when they're ripping apart Rhodes, which, by the way, that's one of the most awesome scenes in the whole movie. Rhodes's demise, where he's chased down a hallway by Bub holding a gun, and he ultimately comes upon a horde of zombies who rip him to shreds, and he starts screaming, "Choke on him!" That's awesome. That is a badass line. That I like that line too, because, like, Rhodes was a weasel, but he wasn't a coward. He was a bastard. He was a lot of things, but he still went out screaming, "Choke on him!" to the things actively ripping him apart and eating him in front of him. That is so cool. That is so beyond cool. And then, of course, we get the nice, happy ending, which it's like my favorite ending probably of any of Romero's films. As goofy as that is to say, it's not a particularly impactful ending. It doesn't hit you in any sort of way. It's just like a breath of fresh air, where it's suggested that they have escaped. They used the helicopter. They escaped to a nicer place somewhere on a beach. And I mean, is that all I really want to say about this movie? The score, of course, as always, is great. Yeah, yeah, it's great. It's 1980s horror. It's Romero. What do you expect? I don't know what else to tell you about the score in this movie. It is fantastic. All the stuff with Bub is great. All the stuff with all the zombies is great. If I had any criticisms for this film, it would be that the main character we follow isn't ultimately interesting in any way at all. She's very flat. She's very I think intentionally so. She's very I don't want to use the word prudish, but sort of like what is the word I'm looking for here? Very uptight and strict. She even goes at the guys that I like, the Jamaican guy and the Irish guy, at one point in the film because they aren't pulling their weight, and which, like, understandable. Dude, I don't know, man. Understandable. The Jamaican guy flies the whirly bird, and the Irish, I don't even know what the Irish guy does, to be honest with you. I really couldn't tell you. But she's very that way, and it's just kind of like, it makes her an unlikable character, and I'm sure it's intentional. But the fact that we spend the whole film with her, I suppose it does kind of take something away from there, because she is who probably gets the most screen time at the end of the day. Um, all the other characters are great, other than the one guy who's having like a mental breakdown the whole movie. Weak link, damn it. He's the weak link of the group. And there was one other thing that I was like, that might be like kind of a negative. What was it, Quinny? You want to tell me? You want to tell me what it was? Do you want to tell me what I was thinking? Do you know what I was thinking? I don't know. I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know. Damn it, that's gonna bother me. And I'm gonna think of it in like 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna be really mad because I didn't have it off the top of my head. But, oh, right. You know what? There's not like a ton of zombie action. Most of it does take place in this bunker. And there ultimately isn't like a ton of zombie killing or anything like that normally makes a zombie apocalypse movie great and interesting and not boring. But the characters that we spend the movie with, I think makes up for that. So that still won't affect the ultimate rating of the movie very much at all. I will say Day of the Dead is like a 9 out of 10. And if you've never seen Day of the Dead, do yourself a favor. Go watch Day of the Dead, even though I just spoiled its ass off. Look, the movie came out in 1985. If you were expecting a non-spoiler review, get out of town with that, Sarah. If I told you once, I told you many times, it's not acceptable to take your top off and dance at Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, well, thanks for sticking through the video, guys. I'm going to go.